Alright, what's up guys? In my garage here, about to head out. I am going, well, let's just see what it says. I think approximately 213 miles or so to the Blair Bridge Park, all the way down in Gainesville. And I'm going to free camp there in the woods by the river. So yeah, 213 miles. I'm taking all back roads for the most part. And it's on my XT250. It is currently 3. It's going to be about 4 hours and 15 minutes. So 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm going to have to make some good time or else I'm going to be getting there in the dark. But hopefully I do. So, all right. Fire her up and head out. Well, my wind dampener fell off, so that's a bummer. But that's all right. We shall push on. Hopefully it's not too bad. I'm not going to risk my life to run out of the road and try and get that back. But anyway, so just did my first fuel stop. Not even 5 minutes into the journey. Just wanted to make sure I was topped off. Like I said, I'm going about 214 miles on an XT250, and then I'll be free camping in the woods, and it's gonna be interesting. Sorry if the camera setup's a little weird. I have a modular, so I couldn't really do this on I couldn't make the GoPro work on my camera, on my helmet rather, so I had to do a chest mount, and we'll see how it is. Hopefully it's not too bad. I am excited. I think I unfortunately am going to kind of be getting there in the dark, which I hate, but you know, worst case I'll just stop and camp on the side of the road somewhere. Hopefully I don't have to do that. I'm a little nervous. It's really starting to set in how crazy this is. It doesn't seem crazy. It didn't seem crazy when I thought of it initially, but now it seems a little bit crazy. So I've got all my stuff, man. I've never really even been free camping before. I've always gone to campgrounds and had a car and all that, but you know, I love motorcycles and figure I'd give this a shot. So I'll check back in with you guys when I'm a little bit a little further along here. All right, so finally kind of out of the more civilized or whatever developed areas on these 2 lanes, feeling a lot better. Man, I tell you, I hate riding around all those cars and stuff, and just people don't know how to drive. So it's nice to get away from it. So, but yeah, we are trekking down. It says I'm going to get there about 7:36, which that's not too bad. It's just starting to get dark at that point, so I can deal with that. Looks like we're going to need 1 or 2 fuel stops. I don't know how much range I actually get, but I read online about 150 miles. I do have a little fuel bottle back there, so hopefully I only need 1 fuel stop, but we'll see. My stuff seems to be staying on pretty well. I got my tank bag here. This is Nelson rig gear. It's about $80, not bad, not bad. Put a link in the description. I just got a backpack that I actually got at a trade show. So that's my main bit of luggage. I got my bag strapped to the top. I've got a little bivvy 1-person tent in the backpack. I've got cooking gear in there, cheap Amazon cooking gear. I'm coming in well under $1,000 for all this gear, maybe even under $500. Oh, and I've got an Acerbis or a Cherbis or whatever the fuck it's called, front fender pack with some tools in it. I've also got kind of tools internally behind the fairings on the bike. That's into this small town. It's pretty pretty strange. I don't know if you guys see all those signs. I'll try and turn my body, but they've got all these welcome to Rosebud, welcome to Rosebud, welcome to Rosebud. I don't know how much they spent on these things, man. I just turned on the camera. I've been passing through this about 10 minutes now. That's an exaggeration, maybe like 2 minutes, but they are everywhere. It's just a little town. we know it's Rosebud. Still going. Look at that. Welcome to Rosebud. There's another one. Welcome to Rosebud. There must have been 50 of those things. No, there's another one on the right. Welcome to Rosebud. I love little towns like this though, man. I'd love to live in one of these one day. I don't know, I just think they're so cool. Alright. I'll check back in here. We are about, I don't know, less than an hour out. 30 or 40 minutes. And, well, I said I was going to get there around 7:30, so, you know, probably about an hour at this point. But we are still rolling. It's been about 90 miles since I last got gas. So, I don't know. Haven't really pushed the range too much yet, but just going to keep on rocking and rolling here. So far, so good. Alright, so a little update. I just ran out of gas. Well, didn't run out of gas. I just switched to my reserve. And I was only at 92 miles on the tripodometer, so that's a little weird to me. I thought these things had way more than that. Based on the forums and stuff I was reading, they would get like 150. So I don't know if something's up with my bike and I'm just eating more gas than I should, or what the hell the deal is. But yeah, we just ran out, so that's a bummer. That's what I got the little fuel bottle for. That's what I got reserved for. So hopefully I can make it to the next gas station. Cheers. Alright, wasted a little bit, but got most of it in there. Okay, quick status update. My idiotic bank has locked me out of my card for the second time today. But I didn't know this, but if you go inside and pay, you know, prepay and enter in your code for your debit card, you get through, at least with Bank of America. So, hopefully I don't run into this problem on the way home, but I did manage to get some gas, so I should have another 90 miles, which is good, which means I'm going to make it. These are kind of the sort of roads I was hoping for the entire time, but I'm not complaining. It just took us the last 40 minutes of the journey to get there, but these are very pretty roads. Look at this bridge. Wow. Tight turn there. Yeah, this is the roads motorcycle street. Man, these are beautiful. It's like out of a movie. No service at all out here. It's a weird feeling, man. It makes me kind of nervous. If something were to happen, you know, it's like I can't go anywhere. I gotta walk and wait for a car to come by or something. I don't even know. So honestly, I don't know if I do this alone again. Nothing's happened, but it's just a little weird. I think get another bike and have someone else come with me. That way, if one of the bikes breaks down, you can ride on the back of the other one, you know. Worst comes to worst. Hopefully both of them won't break down. But alright, I can see where I gotta go on my map. Kind of weird, everybody just stares at you out here when you go by. Okay, here's the Blair Bridge. And what's that say? Public River access across bridge. Whoa, look at that fog. That is cool. Wow. So, trying to find where the free camping is. I don't really know. That fog is something else. Just take a second. Alright, I'll keep rolling here. What's that say? I don't know what that was. This might be the free camping. Let's see. A little confused here, but Land and water conservation. Well, here's Blair Bridge Park, so let's see if this goes into the park. Oh, we'll go down here. Maybe I can ask some people. Alright, I'll check back in with you guys when I'm walking into my campsite. I don't want to weird people out while I'm recording. Okay, so I wasn't able to get the rest of what I was referring to on video, but things just kept getting weirder and weirder after this point, man. I couldn't find the campsite, so I had to keep talking to people. Everyone was really strange and very standoffish at this point. I don't know, maybe it was just me, but I got a really bad feeling about it. The first two people I talked to were these two dudes, and they had full body tattoos basically from head to toe, even on their faces and stuff, which seemed odd to me, you know, way out in the country. I didn't know if they were in a biker gang or what, and not trying to be judgmental, but usually when people have face tattoos, it's kind of, you know, there's something going on there. So they didn't tell me where a campground was, or they didn't know. They said they weren't from around there, so fair enough, whatever. I kind of kept exploring, and eventually I got to the guy who owned one of the canoe rental places, and he told me it was like the meth capital of the world. So of course I tried to go camping, and just so happened to get somewhere that's a freaking, you know, meth shack. So you know, whatever, I kind of took that with a grain of salt. Meth is pretty common, unfortunately, in rural Missouri. But kept kind of exploring. He gave me some general directions on where to go. Eventually I came to a place down by the river, and there was a really small, like, one-person trail. So I actually took my bike and started to go down it, and because it looked, you know, crossable at least. And I parked my bike to get off and kind of walk it, just to make sure I didn't get in too deep. And I'm walking this trail, and it really scared me, but a guy comes around the corner, and he's holding a knife. So it was, you know, it was just like a pocket knife, but I thought it was very odd that he just had it out, and he's walking this trail, you know. So not wanting to get stabbed, I kind of tried to defuse the situation, and I just politely asked, you know, if there was a campground back here, and he was actually really polite and told me where everything was, but obviously there was something weird going on there. You know, you don't just walk on trails with a knife out. So I didn't want to walk back to my bike with this guy, so I you know, I had to get my gun ready basically, and have it at my side, and I just walked the other way down the trail. The key was out of my bike and anything. I didn't know if he was going to try and steal stuff off of it, or what was going to happen, but I didn't really want to risk my life or have to shoot somebody, so I kind of kept walking for a little bit, and I got down to where the river was, and there's this woman there, and she was acting really strange. I asked her if you could camp here, and she told me no, but then I looked over and there was a tent and a campfire, and I asked again, and she was like, well, you can if you want. So I have a feeling, and the other thing was it smelled very strongly of almost like burning electrical. So I don't know if they were smoking meth or what it was, but I imagine, you know, I've never smelled meth before, at least I didn't identify it, but I imagine that could be what it smells like. So still don't know what that was, but I got a bad feeling about it. You know, she was obviously trying to mislead me. It was very weird. So I walked back to my bike, and unfortunately where I had parked was really deep sand. So I tried wheeling it around, and it was like trying to push a sled. You know, I don't even know what would be a good example, but it was just trying to ram that bike through the sand. The wheels weren't even turning, and it took all my strength, and then I got kind of stuck up against a fallen tree where I couldn't get the bike under it, and unfortunately it was a grade where the bike was sort of like
falling down that steep grade into that tree area. So it was a nightmare. I had to eventually tip the bike over. Knife guy came back, and I kind of just laughed it off and said I got stuck trying to be real low-key, and he actually was still normal, still holding his knife, but walked past me. So after what felt like 20 minutes of trying to get this freaking bike unstuck and, you know, practically fearing of getting stabbed or something, I was able to get it unstuck, and I hauled butt out of there as fast as I could, and just made the executive decision to ride all the way back 3.5 hours to my girlfriend's house. I took all highway, which in the dark is, I feel, a lot safer than back roads, just because you're not going to get, you know, deer jumping out in front of you, and there's hardly any people on the highway that late at night. But it was a bear. I was more exhausted than I ever been in my life probably at that point. It sucked. Part of it I did have to do back roads just to get to the highway, and that wasn't fun, dropping cell signal and stuff just in the middle of, you know, nowhere. And yeah, it's a shame, man, that drugs kind of just ruin everything. It's Missouri is a very different place from the 60s and 50s when there was no meth and all that crap. So it really it's not something I'll be doing again. I definitely got to do more research next time, but it was one of the scariest situations where nothing scary really even happened other than the knife guy, but I just got a terrible, terrible feeling of it. Just the fact when my bike was stuck, I was practically throwing up trying to get it, you know, because I was so out of breath trying to get the thing unstuck because I didn't know what was going to happen. So yeah, that was my journey. Sorry I didn't get any footage of it, but as you can imagine, I was pretty panicked, you know, and I was glad for my Second Amendment right. If it weren't for that, I would have been terrified, but it was not fun. So I'm going to try and do this again, and maybe go to a more civilized campsite or something, do a little more research. And I hope to have a video for you guys. I hope this wasn't too clickbait for you. Crazy stuff really did happen. I just didn't get it on film. But I'll catch you in the next one, and hopefully I can get a real motorcycle camping video next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you can like and subscribe. Bye.